The headlines of this hour on VTV News. National Assembly Standing Committee begins August lawmaking session. Later on, GoP District deploys a digital citizen app. And in a world news, a fire hits ZAPORIZHZHIA nuclear plant.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is currently 3 p.m. local time and you're tuning into 30 minutes of VTV News. I'm Lilin Lei with the latest updates. Now, on Monday morning, General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm met with newly appointed ambassadors from Argentina, Algeria, Germany, North Korea, and Sweden as they presented their letters of credence to start their terms in Vietnam. During the meetings, General Secretary and President Tô Lâm expressed hopes of enhancing bilateral relations with each country. He encouraged the Argentine ambassador to advance bilateral ties and refined the legal framework. With the Algerian ambassador, he stressed the importance of boosting trade cooperation and the exchange of delegation. The German ambassador was urged to contribute to strengthening the Vietnam-Germany strategic partnership. For the North Korean ambassador, he emphasized fostering close cooperation and developing party-state relations. Lastly, with the Swedish ambassador, he highlighted the potential for increased collaboration in clean energy and sustainable development. On Monday morning, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn led the August lawmaking session of the National Assembly Standing Committee. The session focused on reviewing 10 high-profile draft laws, including the revised trade union law, the law on value-added tax, and the law on fire prevention, fighting, and rescue. The National Assembly Chairman noted that nearly 82% of the 15th National Assembly's legislative goals have been met and stressed the need for public feedback and practical feasibility in lawmaking. He also called for strict anti-corruption measures and transparency in the lawmaking process. Also on Monday morning, the committee deliberated on the draft law on geology and minerals and the amendments on the law on pharmacy. The Industrial Production Index rose by 8.5% in the first 7 months of the year, with the processing and manufacturing sector increasing by 9.5%. However, the number of Vietnamese enterprises involved in global production chains in this sector remains modest.
As one of the few Tier 1 suppliers for Samsung, the company has overhauled its processes and human resources to meet customer requirements. Despite facing challenges, the results have proven to be worthwhile.
They have numerous large and stable customers, which helps us operate effectively and provides opportunities to join other global supply chains.
The number of Vietnamese enterprises in these chains remains modest. Firms need significant internal resources. Currently, many Vietnamese firms face constraints in their investment capacity.
The manufacturing sector requires substantial investment, making support for enterprises crucial to driving new investment. Without it, investment will remain low due to the sector's lower profit margin compared to other industries.
Over the past 35 years, the manufacturing and processing industry has attracted the most FDI, offering Vietnamese enterprises a key opportunity to join major production chains. However, solutions are needed to help them capitalize on this.
We hope that regulations will require FDI companies entering Vietnam to employ Vietnamese personnel in mid-level and senior positions and include a localization roadmap.
As the manufacturing industry's export value increases, Vietnamese enterprises need to make greater contributions. This will enhance the industry's competitiveness and boost its positive impact on the national economy.
From September the 24th to October the 17th, an inspection team from the European Union or EU will assess Vietnam's residue control measures in its farmed seafood and honey sectors. The inspection aims to evaluate whether Vietnam's processes aligned with EU standards for these exports. The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has highlighted the significance of the EU market, noting that its inspection results could influence the exports prospects of these two key industries. Local authorities, businesses, and farming areas are advised to prepare thorough documentation and closely monitor their operations to ensure compliance and maintain quality. By early August, Vietnam's seafood exports had reached over $5.2 billion, a 7.2% increase from last year. The final months of the year typically see many seafood factories ramping up exports. However, the industry now faces raw material shortages from both aquaculture and natural fishing. Businesses and local authorities are urgently working on solutions.
Each day, this factory requires about 30 tons of tuna. However, the supply of export quality tuna has dropped by approximately 40%, causing concern for the facility.
Ineffective fishing and stricter EU product origin regulations are causing raw material shortages for factories.
Prolonged, inefficient fishing practices and unsustainable farming have drastically reduced the seafood supply. To address this issue, the industry is prioritizing deep processing as a solution.
The factory buys raw materials from local suppliers at a better price.
To tackle both raw material shortages and surpluses, seafood factories suggest adopting a structured, systematic production chain rather than the current ad hoc methods.
If people are raising aquatic products, there must be a purchasing factory, and then there must be a consumer market. It is necessary to link these in a chain to achieve high efficiency.
In 2022, Vietnam's seafood exports reached a record $11 billion for the first time. However, this figure has continuously declined since then. Unless the raw material supply issue is effectively resolved, the billion-dollar industry goal of sustainable growth will continue to face significant challenges.
Last week, rice prices in the Mekong Delta increased due to high demand and low supply. At the same time, the export price of Vietnamese rice experienced a slight uptick. According to the Vietnam Food Association, the average price of fresh rice in fields rose to nearly 3 US cents per kilogram, while the price of Vietnam's 5% broken rice exports climbed by more than $5 per ton. This rise in rice prices is attributed to the recent heightened export demand from the Philippines and Indonesia. In Vietnam, 42 out of 63 provinces and cities raised swiftlets. Each year, hundreds of tons of birds' nests worth nearly $500 million are produced. This field brings high economic value to producers. In addition to domestic consumption, birds' nest products can also be exported to demanding markets around the world.
As a large-scale bird's nest producer in the West, Sun's business is speeding up procedures to officially export his products to China. According to him, this is a very promising market.
The nutritional value of Vietnamese birds' nests is higher than that of other Asian birds' nests. When customers obtained samples, they rated the quality as quite high.
To date, only 9 Vietnamese bird's nest enterprises have been licensed to officially export to China. This number is quite modest compared to the tens of thousands of domestic bird's nest production facilities. Currently, 1 kilogram of Vietnamese bird's nest costs between $1,300 to $1,700 US.
The nutritional value of Vietnamese bird's nest is higher than that of other Asian bird's nests. When customers obtain samples, they rated the quality as quite high.
Our exported products have been highly favored by international consumers. This popularity presents a good opportunity to increase our export turnover.
To date, Vietnamese bird's nest products have earned the trust of French and Chinese consumers. China alone imports over 400 tons of bird's nest annually. Capitalizing on the potential, advantages, and opportunities in these markets could significantly boost the export turnover of Vietnam bird's nest industry.
Up next, let's have a look at the exchange rates between the Vietnam dong and some world currencies in today's market. Coming up next on VTV News. Dak Lak's dedicated efforts to conserve elephant population. And later on, GoP District in Ho Chi Minh City deploys a digital citizen app. Now continue on with other important updates. Extreme heat persists this week in the central region with risks of forest fire issued across the area. The highest temperatures from Ha Tinh to Ninh Thuận are forecast to reach 35 to 37 degrees Celsius, potentially exceeding 38 degrees Celsius in some areas. Humidity levels have dropped to 50 to 55%, exacerbating the risk of forest fires. The Forest Protection Department has issued a Level 4 fire warning or highly dangerous for forest areas from Thanh Hóa to Quảng Nam and in Bình Định, Phú Yên, and Ninh Thuận. Residents are advised to avoid using fire and refrain from activities that could ignite fires in or near forest areas. Dak Lak boasts the largest population of elephants in the country. However, over the past 40 years, the number of domesticated elephants has declined from 502 to just 35. The province has implemented a model to encourage natural reproduction as a conservation measure. Despite this, challenges persist due to the age of the female elephants, necessitating prompt action. Let's learn more about this as we celebrate World Elephant Day on August the 12th.
Bak On is in intensive care. Every week, doctors take blood samples to monitor her ovulation cycle until she becomes pregnant and gives birth.
We analyze her blood samples for progesterone levels to determine her ovulation cycle and pair her with male elephants for mating.
Elephant owners have tried to pair their animals up, but with limited success. Finding a suitable male is challenging. Even when found, the female may reject the male, or the male's owner may refuse the pairing.
Finding a male elephant is difficult because they can become aggressive and dangerous when they see humans during mating. We've asked the authorities for help.
In 2016, Dak Lak started a project to boost natural reproduction among domesticated elephants. Since then, 3 females have become pregnant, ending a 30-year reproduction gap.
After a day and night of labor, she gave birth with the doctor's help, but the baby stopped breathing.
The mother touched the baby with her trunk, realized it had died, and cried for a month, shedding tears like a human.
All the mother elephants in Dak Lak are old, and their muscles are no longer elastic, causing frequent difficulties during birth.
Elephants are not merely members, but also cherished cultural symbols of the Central Highlands. Currently, Dak Lak has only 5 domesticated elephants capable of reproduction, with the youngest female being 37 years old.
So they can become sexually active around mid-teens and can continue reproducing up until they're, into their 40s. So even if you start getting her to a male today, maybe she's 40 by the time she gives birth. Maybe she's older than 40. Maybe the 37-year-old female, maybe she's not even cycling. Problem is where the females are at, and with their age, and also when you factor in the age they're at and the lack of experience they have of successfully breeding, I'd say it's an incredibly fragile position.
The 3 female elephants that have given birth and are currently mating represent duck luck's last chance to breed domesticated elephants. As they age, the chances of successful breeding shrink, but conservation efforts persist, fueled by hope for natural miracles.
In Ho Chi Minh City, GoP District has deployed an application on the Zalo platform to help local people access public services and official information in the fastest and most convenient way. This application, called GoP Smart District Digital Citizen Platform, has made GoP one of the pioneering districts in the country to have its own mini-app serving the people.
After a brief 2-minute tutorial, Ding Yi was able to use the GoP Smart District application. He found that this app significantly reduces time and effort compared to the traditional method.
I already have a profile code. I just need to fulfill a few basic steps. I think it's very convenient and simple to follow.
The outstanding features of GoP Smart District include connecting businesses and people through services and job listings, a Q&A session for feedback, and a government information section. Users can send questions and receive prompt responses. The app also provides citizens with official news and updates.
This application is very easy to use. If I want to get more information about the district, I can go to this application to read the newspaper.
In the near future, research will be done on developing an application for ward chiefs and civil servants to use the Zalo platform for management work in the area as well as to contact the people. At the same time, other applications of the district will also be gradually integrated into this GoP District Smart application, such as information on planning and the economy.
The GoP Smart District mini app connects to national public services, the e-tax mobile system, and other national databases. These features save people time and effort when handling administrative procedures. GoP District is also actively piloting digital quarter and digital road models, contributing to the district's effective smart city project implementation.
Now, in the digital age, many worry that young people lack access to folk culture. However, an increasing number of projects are digitizing traditional cultural art. Now, this effort enriches these resources and makes it easier for youngsters to explore this valuable source of knowledge.
These images are part of the project to digitize data on Vietnamese craft villages, including product information, production steps, and artisan portraits. The project is led by a group of communication students passionate about Vietnamese culture.
Our wish is to use technology to preserve documents about craft villages and things that may disappear in the future.
A group of students in Hanoi created Journey to the Quan Họ Heritage Land, an innovative website with a rich database that engages users through games like song title guessing and prize-winning quizzes, helping them learn more about Quan Họ folk songs.
Currently, the website is only available in Vietnamese and English. We plan to translate it into many other languages, such as Chinese, Japanese, and Korean, to widely promote Vietnam's cultural heritage.
It's not just an application that teaches history and geography, it's also a digital learning resource for students who love the traditional arts. After gaining knowledge through this website, many students will have a newfound appreciation for Vietnam's traditional arts.
Digitizing cultural data is becoming a significant trend. However, many projects face challenges due to insufficient funding and a lack of professional management.
To develop heritage digitization in Vietnam, we need standardized documentation and coordination among archaeology, research, and technology.
From another perspective, the digitization of cultural database without proper coordination can waste time, effort, money, and the passion of those devoted to national culture. Thus, the involvement of management agencies is crucial at this time.
On Sunday night in Guangxi Province, the special art program, The Immortal Epic, was held, paying tribute to the nation's heroic martyrs and revolutionaries. The event was attended by Lei Huaichung, Secretary of the Party's Central Committee and head of the Central Commission for External Relations, as well as Deputy Prime Minister Chen Heng-hua. The program honored the courageous martyrs and revolutionaries who sacrificed their lives for Vietnam's liberation and sovereignty. It also highlighted their steadfast struggle and the ongoing commitment of current generations to build and develop the nation with pride and a forward-looking vision. The love and passion for Gong culture are being preserved, passed on, and spread by the Central Highlands community. Through various creative methods, villagers have maintained training programs, taught by young people how to play gongs, and encouraged participation in community festival performances. As a result, the unique cultural values of gongs are being preserved and promoted in the Central Highlands. Our report comes from Gia Lai, one of the cradles of Gong culture in the Central Highlands.
These Jarai boys, just over 3 years old, love dancing to the echoing gong melodies. The children's performance with the Pleiku City Gong team attracted a large crowd of enthusiastic locals and tourists.
I noticed the children's interest in watching the adults. Seeing their excitement, I invited them to join in. This not only allows them to practice, but also helps preserve our traditional culture.
With all the challenges of preserving traditional culture in our modern world, I'm happy to see the children participate and maintain their enthusiasm.
And here is a Gong troupe of more than 40 Bana children from the remote district of Kongtro, Jalai Province.
Today, I'm very happy to perform with my friends for an audience.
The Gong troupe of children has about 40 members, 12 girls and 28 boys. The youngest is 8 years old. They perform in traditional festivals, grave leaving ceremonies, and new rice festivals.
Although they are between 8 to 16 years old, they have skillfully executed both traditional dances and gong playing during community festivals. The innocent and passionate performances of these children's gong troupes have contributed to spreading the love for traditional music and culture among ethnic communities in the Central Highlands.
Coming up next in our world news. Fire hits ZAPORIZHZHIA nuclear plant. And later on, U.S. publicly announces submarine move to Middle East. Now moving on to our world news, the fire at the Russian-controlled ZAPORIZHZHIA nuclear power plant does not appear to pose a threat to nuclear safety, the International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, said on Sunday. After being notified of a drone attack on a cooling tower at the plant, IAEA experts monitored the incident and found no evidence of an impact on nuclear safety. Ukraine and Russia are exchanging blame for the fire at the nuclear plant. Currently, all 6 units of the plant are shut down, eliminating the risk of steam explosions. Radiation levels around the plant and the city of Enerhodar remain within normal ranges. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has ordered the deployment of a guided missile submarine to the Middle East, the Pentagon said on Sunday, August 11th, as the region braces for possible attacks after the killing of senior members of Hamas and Hezbollah. While the USS Georgia and a nuclear-powered submarine was already in the Mediterranean Sea in July, it was a rare move to publicly announce the deployment of a submarine. In a statement after Austin spoke with his Israeli counterpart, the Pentagon said Austin had ordered the Abraham Lincoln Strike Group to accelerate its deployment to the region. The U.S. military has also announced the deployment of additional fighter jets and warships to the Middle East as Washington seeks to bolster Israel's defense capabilities. Water temperatures in and around Australia's Great Barrier Reef have risen to their warmest in 400 years over the past decade, placing the world's largest reef under threat, according to research published by a group of scientists from universities across Australia. Take a look.
A group of scientists at universities across Australia analyzed the samples to measure summer ocean temperatures dating back to the year 1618. Combined with ship and satellite data going back around 100 years, the results show ocean temperatures that were stable for hundreds of years begin to rise from 1900 onwards as a result of human influence, the research concluded.
I think this is such a massive challenge that every single person on Earth needs to contribute to it. And I mean, individuals all the way up to the world's governments at our UN scale meetings. The urgency could not be higher right now, and the need for coordinated action is so urgent.
The last temperature data point from January to March of this year was the highest on record and head and shoulders above any other year. Since 2016, the reef has experienced 5 summers of mass coral bleaching, when large sections of the reef turn white due to heat stress, putting them at greater risk of death.
The science is pointing very clearly to the reef being in danger, and elevating that status, I think, is not blaming any particular government, but it's a rally call to the world that we need to be reducing our emissions urgently, immediately.
According to the NOAA, at least 54 countries and regions have experienced mass bleaching of their reefs since February 2023, as climate change warms the ocean's surface waters.
Up next, let's have a look at the weather forecast. And that is all that we have for this hour on VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can visit our website or YouTube channel, or download our mobile app VTVgo for more. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.